What's up, guys? Hope you all enjoying this crazy ass college football Saturday. I mean, you have upsets. You have Florida losing to Kentucky. You had Arkansas and Ole Miss getting a reminder that they're not as good as Georgia or Alabama, respectively. But the main thing is, I want to touch upon the University of Cincinnati, that is, the big win over Notre Dame. Now, I know UC was a slight favorite on the road, but everyone and mama had Notre Dame just whooping that ass in some cases, right? But you got to give it to UC, man. I mean, Desmond Ritter showed up, hit 2 touchdown passes on 297 yards passing. The defense forced 3 turnovers and getting the win in South Bend by double digits over a Notre Dame team who I think is still going to be a 10-win team at the very least. Is very damn impressive. So you see now. You have 2 wins on the road against Power 5 opponents. Yes, I know IU may not be as good as it was last year. I still think IU's probably a 7 to 8 win team when it's all said and done. But I believe that UC's win over Notre Dame and South Bend is perhaps the best win right now this season, and how they did it. I know the score was close, but that's because of mistakes by UC. I know Notre Dame turned over the ball 3 times. I get it. There were mistakes on both sides. But there were 2 missed field goals from a point-blank range from UC's kicker, which would have given them at least 30 points. And, the final score wasn't near as close as it indicated. UC just thoroughly dominated Notre Dame almost from the jump, if you were to pay attention at it. So the question now is, where does this leave UC in terms of the college football playoff picture? Well, looking at the schedule, rest of the schedule sets up very well for them. And yes, I know that the American Athletic Conference is not the strongest this year. But if you're any conference opponent, you have to pay attention to potential landmines in conference play because it's so unpredictable. But from looking at UC's schedule right quick, the toughest games are going to be at home. I mean, they get UCF at home. They get Temple at home, ESPN in the middle of the week. I think that's a Thursday night game, if I'm not mistaken. They get SMU at home. The toughest road game is going to be at ECU at the end of the season. So this sets up very, very well for UC. And also, I need to acknowledge this. They will not be playing Memphis in the regular season. So Memphis is historically giving them problems in the past, and Memphis is a damn good team. So they don't get to face Memphis until at least, and Houston as well. They don't face Houston until at the very least, at the very earliest, the conference title game. And if, they're both tied in conference play, them in Houston, that is, they get the game at UC because UC is a higher ranked opponent. So either way, this sets up very well for them if they take care of business. Now, looking at the rest of as far as UC compared to the rest of the college football squads, I mean, if you look at Penn State, I don't know if Penn State plays Iowa this year in the regular season. I do know that Oregon took an L at Stanford. So I say all that to say this. There's going to be some movement for teams not named Alabama and Georgia for the rest of the season. Alabama and Georgia, they're by far the 2 best squads, and it's not even close. Okay? So as long as UC is able to move into that 3 to 4 spot, they'll be straight. So right now, again, UC just has to keep winning, right? They got the feather in the cap win at Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's a 10-win team, so I don't think it's going to hurt UC. I don't think people are going to knock it too much, even if they try to. Paul Feinbaum, I'm looking right at you, bro. But I think that everything sets up for UC. As long as they take care of business against a weak-ass conference schedule, and, as long as they'll get help outside, which I think they will eventually. So, again, from teams not named Alabama and Georgia. So we'll see. I mean, that's why This college football season is great, but this is probably the greatest terms of fun because teams are losing left and right. So as long as UC keeps winning and everybody keeps losing, hell, anything's possible. Anything's possible.